Hey guys, hope all of you are doing good, staying safe. Okay, so today we're going to explain había, and habrá because while they're technically related to the word haber here, they're not exactly once haber isn't followed by a participle. And I'll get into what that means a little bit later here, but see, Keanu Reeves really wants you to learn, so you better like the video. Basically, to start, like I just said, they all come from the verb haber, which means to have, but it's like an auxiliary verb. So it doesn't exactly mean to have. It's not a synonym of tener exactly. So in certain situations, it can mean there are, there was, there will be, there would be, stuff like that. So like I said again, it's usually followed by a participle. So you might have learned the perfect tense where you'd say, tú te has cepillado los dientes, he hecho mi tarea, which means you have brushed your teeth. That's what I mean by have. It's not technically have, but it is. It's have, but it's followed by brushed. So it's kind of like its own tense, the verb. Basically, cepillado comes from cepillarse, and haber causes it to be like this. Haber usually kind of ish always needs a participle after it, and when it doesn't, that's why it becomes like había, and habrá. Okay, so let's get into it first with I. So I means there is or there are, and that's it. There's nothing really more about it. It's not a conjugated form of haber like había or habrá. It's related to the verb haber because it's related to these two. One thing you might hear though is haya, which is part of haber. However, this is not haya. So here's an example. Hay dos personas aquí. There are two people here. It's simple. Just like there are. Hay muchas personas en la fiesta. Are there a lot of people at the party? Hay alguien que todavía no ha suscrito a mi casa es tu casa por contenido semanal. This is a good sentence. Meaning, is there anyone that still has not subscribed to mi casa es tu casa for weekly content? No pienso que sí. Now we're on to había. So había is the imperfect conjugation of haber in the yo and the singular form. And it means there was or there were. So, for example, if you want to say there were, I don't know, I've always thought about doing this, but you don't. You never do this. Never say eran tres personas. It's always había tres personas. And use había instead of hubo, which is the preterite version of it. Don't use that. While I've heard haber in the preterite, in my opinion, it's more confusing, and I'll just stick to the imperfect version, mostly. Sorry, one side note. I just want to say when I'm talking about hubo, I'm referring to the perfect tense of haber, not this form of it where it's there were. So never use hubo personas. It's always había, I believe. Or at least in this situation, yes. So here's an example. Había una persona muy linda, pero necesitaba salir. So there was a very cute person. Whoops. But she needed to leave. Quería estar solo con ella. Sin embargo, había muchas personas con nosotros. I want to be alone with her, however, there are a lot of people with us. So as you see, they are in the imperfect or the past tense, and that's why it is había instead of I. Because was and were in the past tense. Okay, one thing I wanted to add is that sometimes it's a little bit confusing, but you see here, it says, okay, so for this one here, in the top sentence, it says había una persona, like one person. So that there was. But then here, había muchas personas, multiple, which would be there were. Technically, I do not believe it's incorrect to make it habían muchas personas. I think it depends on like the teacher or the country. However, I've seen this a couple of times. There are news articles that use this and use that to represent the were. I don't think it really matters, and I'd stick to había, but I would ask your teacher or your tutor specifically on what they think about that. And the same will apply to habrá also. So habrá means there will be or there will be, but like the plural version. I don't know how to describe it. It doesn't really exist in English. So here's an example. Habrá un perro muy grande que vendrá a mi boda. There will be a very big dog that will come to my wedding. Yeah, so that's there will be, and it's one dog. Now, if you made it multiple, habrá unos perros muy grandes que vendrán a mi boda. There will be some very big dogs that will come to my wedding. And when I said plural, that's because the same thing kind of applies here. So you could say habrán because it's multiple dogs, but in the future tense, habrá is the singular and is just the singular conjugation of haber. So for example, you can say él habrá terminado la tarea en 5 minutos. He will have finished. But if you don't say terminado or the subject él, then it just becomes like this. That's another point to add too. Once you use the 3 of these, there's no subjects because there is technically the subject. So you wouldn't say yo habrá because then that would make it like the how haber is intended to be, not this special definition. Yeah, no, that's basically it for I, había, and habrá. You're practically fluent now. Look at you. Congratulations.